Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Sarah and I post weekly what's for dinners, random grocery hauls, and recipes in between. I will always have the recipes linked down below, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos. First, I'm going to be making a buffalo chicken pasta. Forgive my messy stove. I made a mess with the salt and I just didn't have time to clean it up before cooking dinner, so it's whatever. Anyway, I have like 7 cans of chicken that I got from Sam's like 2 months ago, and I wanted to use them, and my husband is not a huge fan of it, but we just learned that if you put it in a little bit of oil and some salt, pepper, and kind of fry it up first, if you don't like that canned chicken taste, like, it really helps and it gives it kind of like a crispy texture too. Anyway, just a tip, because I know some people don't care for it. But obviously I got my penne noodles started, and you're going to mix in with the chicken 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, a cup of chicken broth, half a cup of buffalo sauce, whatever kind you want, about a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a teaspoon of salt. And once all that is incorporated, you are going to put in about a cup of mozzarella and a cup of just mild cheddar. I just had Colby, I think it was Colby Jack, yeah. So that worked too. So if you don't have mild cheddar, any of the orange cheeses will work just fine. Mix that up really well, and I kind of just let it sit for a while my noodles finished, and then you were just going to drain your noodles and fold it into that sauce, and that's it. Like, it was really, really good, especially for how simple it is. I love an easy dinner, and it had a little bit of a kick to it. It was so good. And now I am going to show you how I did my very favorite meal of the week, creamy Tuscan ravioli. You're going to start by, of course, really salt your water heavily, because the ravioli kind of soaks it up even more. Like when you bite into it, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be extra flavorful. But anyways, in a separate pan, you are going to melt, I think it was 3 tablespoons of butter, a tablespoon of the oil from a sun-dried tomato bottle, and some minced garlic, which you'll see I burned a little bit, but it was still good. And then you're going to put in about a teaspoon of onion powder and a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and mix that up really well. And then after that, a 1/4 cup of chicken broth. Instead, about a 1/3 cup of the sun-dried tomatoes. I think mine was a little bit more than that, but I took them out and chopped them up a little bit smaller too, to kind of spread that out a little bit. I don't know if you love them, which I like them too. Next time I think I will add even more, but you can, add whatever. And at this point, I am going to cook up my ravioli, because those things only take like 3 minutes. And then you're going to juice half a lemon. It said a tablespoon of lemon juice, so I figured that was about a tablespoon. And then you're going to add a full cup of heavy whipping cream, and if you have baby spinach, chop up, a pretty good bit of it. It could have used even more, but all I had was the baby spring mix, and I tried to pick out like the spinach most that I could in there. It wasn't nearly enough, but I also chopped up some fresh basil in there, and that was really good as well. And you're just going to whisk that up and let it thicken. And as soon as your ravioli is done, you're just going to drain it and put it in there and mix it all up. And I served it with a side salad, and like I said, Parmesan. Throw some Parmesan in there too before I forget. I don't think this was in the recipe. It was in the recipe to top it afterwards, but I thought it would be really good in there as well. Correct me if I'm wrong if y'all go back and look at that recipe, but I don't remember it being in there. I'm going to take the credit for something that isn't mine. But anyways, this was definitely my husband and I's very favorite meal of the week. And next I'm going to make a spaghetti pie. I had seen so many different recipes and variations of this, and I just wanted to have some fun and throw it in the spring form pan and just see what happens. So first you're going to make sure you grease your pan, and I cooked a whole 16-ounce box of noodles and put in about half a cup of ricotta. Next time I might put a little bit more, and 2 eggs, and mix that all together. And then after I got done mixing this, so I was like, I think we need some butter, and I think I should have maybe melted it. It was good. I melted throughout, or maybe I should have used a little bit more. It's just what I had, ready and softened. Anyway, and I mixed that up really well in it, and then you're going to pour it into your pan and kind of just like press it down a little bit. And of course, if you don't have a springform pan, or you just want it to be a whole lot easier, which is what I'm going to do next time, you can use a 9x13 baking dish. Just pretty much like to bake spaghetti, just layer it that same way. But after that, I'm going to pour my sauce and meat mixture. I put a little bit of Italian seasoning, garlic powder, and onion powder in there too, just for some extra flavor when I heated up the meat. And I topped it with some shredded Parmesan cheese, and when there were about 10 minutes left in the baking, I opened it up and put about half a cup of mozzarella on there as well. You're going to bake it at 350 for about 25 minutes, and this is it. After the initial struggle, it eventually popped off, and like I said, it was fun. Just a different way to make spaghetti. I wouldn't say it isn't worth it, but it's easier in a 9x13 dish. And next I'm going to make some coconut pork curry. I have started by dicing up an onion really finely in my Instant Pot, and I'm sauteing that up. And then you're going to throw in about a tablespoon or so of minced garlic. And maybe about a teaspoon and a half of the minced ginger. Gosh, I can't even talk today. But I never measure that stuff. But then you're going to just mix that all around and saute it really good. And then you're just going to want to put in your sliced pork pieces. I cut up a bunch of pork chops that I had in the freezer to use. And you're just going to, you don't have to cook them all the way. You just want to sear them pretty good, because by the time they're done in the Instant Pot, they will be fully cooked. And then you're going to add a can of diced tomatoes and a can of coconut milk. And next you're going to add in all your spices. You're going to add a half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, a half teaspoon of garam masala, if I'm saying that right, and a teaspoon of coriander powder, half a teaspoon of salt. And I add in a tablespoon of curry powder as well. This recipe doesn't actually call for it, but I was supposed to add in 2 tablespoons of sugar, which is how we love it, and I didn't. So be sure to add the 2 tablespoons of just granulated sugar because it makes it so much better. Kind of cancels out the tomatoey flavor that the canned tomato brings. Of course, you can leave that out as well. We leave that out a lot and we love it. But then a tablespoon of lime juice and stir that up really well. And you're going to, I think, 3 tomatoes that I diced up, or not tomatoes, potatoes that I diced up. You're going to throw those in there, and about half a cup of cashews. And then once everything's stirred up, you are going to just cook it on high pressure for 4 minutes. You're pretty much just cooking a little bit of that pork and the potatoes, and it's all ready. And I'll pour it over rice, and we love it. Thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I post, like I said, these videos every week, and I'd really love it if you became part of my little YouTube family. Thank you so much.